Okay, folks, last part. This is 3-6 part 2. It's just a second video so that the other one wouldn't get cut off or anything. So this last section is about complex roots. Complex is like stuff that has an I. Okay, complex means it's going to have an I. In this one, unfortunately, we don't have it equal to 0 on this side. So what we got to do is minus 6x on both sides. What we're also going to want to do, because that throws a little wrinkle, is we are going to want to make sure we write it in order. So x squared minus 6x plus 13 equals 0. And then I would go A, B, C. A is 1, B is negative 6, C is 13. And we can plug in our, or fill in our quadratic formula, I'm sorry. So opposite B, plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2 times A. Okay, 6 plus or minus the square root of, all right, negative 6 squared times minus 4 times 1 times 13. Negative 16. All right. All over 2. Okay. What is the square root of a regular 16? The square root of a regular 16 is 4. Problem, we have a negative. So we're just going to slap an I on that boy and call it bad boy and call it good. Okay, so just put an I on it and you're good. And then divide that by 2. So again, if it's a heart, break it apart. 6 divided by 2 is 3, plus or minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 3 plus or minus 2i is your solution there. Now, what made that I happen, you guys? Why did that I show up? Why did the I show up? The I showed up because we had a negative in the square root, or because the discriminant was negative. Okay, so let's work on this next one. Same thing happened in the next one. We got a minus 4x on both sides. So then we get x squared minus 4x plus 5 equals 0. And we can fill in our formula, or our, quadratic formula, ABC. A is 1, B is negative 4, C is negative 5. So then we fill it in. X is equal to opposite B plus or minus the square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. One thing you guys might notice really quick is that I've been writing these things in parentheses. And I do that on purpose because if you don't type parentheses in the calculator, it's going to come out with an incorrect number. You can mess with it if you want, but trust me, just always put it in parentheses just to be safe, okay? So negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5. All right. Oh. Sorry, hang on, you guys. I might have messed something up. I did. Hey. Sorry. Watch me. This 5 in the original formula right here is positive. I got to change this to a positive 5. I'm sorry. So this should be a regular old 5. So I'm going to change this to a regular 5. Okay, that changes everything. Signs will mess you up. There we go, negative 4. All right. So then, my apologies for that mistake. Those sign errors will kill us. So we got 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 divided by 2. What's the square root of a regular 4? It's 2. Problem, we got negative 4. So we got to slap an I on that bad boy, and we'll call it good. Divided by 2. Then if it's a heart, break it apart. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we get 2 plus or minus I. And here's what I would just quickly mention is, again, this happened because that discriminant was 0. Oh, sorry, was negative. So up by this, I would write discriminant is negative. If you're not going to remember what a discriminant is, I would say stuff in square root. If the stuff in the square root's negative, you're going to end up with I in the solution. Here, irrational roots are just if you don't have a nice radical, but you'll just see them come out as irrational. And then to summarize this front part, you will have one rational root if the discriminant is 0, or stuff in the root is 0. And then 2 rational roots, or like these 2 irrational roots, those are going to happen if the discriminant is positive. Discriminant is positive, because you'll have plus or minus it. So stuff in the square root is positive, then that means you'll have 2. Okay? So that's 3/6. Like I said, the quadratic formula is kind of my go-to method of solving because it will never steer us wrong.